Hey guys, this video, the NBA draft is coming up soon. We're all ready for it. We're ready for sports in our lives. And as a Hawks fan, I'm going to go back in time to talk about my thoughts 3 years later on the Luka Doncic trade for Trae Young and Cam Reddish. I've been seeing a lot of people online talking about after the Braves lost, all the bad stuff Atlanta sports has done, and they throw in trading Luka. And Luka is the better player right now. I don't think it's much. By much, people will say I'm crazy. But the situations are different. People think Luka is so much better than Trae because they went to the playoffs last year. And people don't realize the Mavericks and the Hawks are two different franchises in two different places. Dallas wasn't trying to rebuild. They went and got Luka, and by trading the 10th overall pick, you knew they weren't trying to win right away. Trading Cam Reddish's pick, they weren't trying to lose. They wanted to make the playoffs. They assumed they would make the playoffs that next year with DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith Jr., and they didn't, and they got rid of them. But the Hawks, on the other hand, they didn't have anybody. They had young guys who were having to develop. The first year, it was just Trae and John. That was it. And John didn't even start for most of the year. Then last year, Dallas, if you look at their lineup, Seth Curry, DHJ, Porzingis, they had a bunch of guys, Jalen Brunson, they had a bunch of guys that were built to win, that were good players, good role players. They knew what they were going to do, built around Luka, and it worked out for them. Porzingis is not a scrub. People act like Luka did it alone. He had great players around him. He had good role players and a great big man. And these guys know their roles. They're good NBA players. But the Hawks, they had Trae Young, second-year guy, had an amazing season. John Collins, third-year guy, gets suspended for 25 games. The Hawks lost a lot of games because he was suspended. We were 2-1 with him. He gets suspended. Our season could have been different. I'm not saying it would have been playoff. I think we would have been in the 30 wins if he doesn't get suspended. Then you look at DeAndre Hunter. Kind of found his role, but not the best. He was still having growing pains trying to decide what he could do. Cam Reddish, if we're being honest, he didn't know how to play basketball for the first 2 or 3 months, and he kind of found his role, figured out, got comfortable in playing. And people hate on Cam and Hunter, but if you look at people like Giannis, averaged like 3 points his rookie year. There are a bunch of stars who didn't average many points their young years. Jimmy Butler averaged like 1 or 2 points a game, and look at him, all-star in the finals. And people hate on these guys. People do hate too quick. They judge too quick. And then, along with, you have Herter, who's really young. Bruno Fernando, who's really young, trying to figure stuff out. And we didn't have the same guys at the beginning of the year we had at the end of the year. We had, at the beginning of the year, we had like Alex Len, I'm having to think. We had Alex Len, Jabari Parker, Evan Turner, guys like that who were playing significant minutes. But yeah, so Brandon Goodwin was the backup point guard for a while. Before we brought in Jeff T, you had Damian Jones playing a lot of minutes. He isn't that great. Vince Carter was playing a lot of minutes. He isn't that great. So you had a bunch of guys who weren't, per se. You had Trevon Graham playing a lot. Guys who you probably not heard of very well or not good anymore, taking up significant minutes. So yeah, and then the Trae versus Luka debate. Here's the thing. Luka Doncic, yes, his team won more games. And Trae, we obviously won less games. But Trae had better stats. Trae was the better offensive player. No matter how you look at it, Trae was better at offense. More assists, more points, better shooting percentages. And if you say, great, well, Luka had more rebounds. Okay, he's 6'8", Trae's 6'2", 6'3", and Luka plays more inside than Trae does. Then another thing, okay, the defense. Trae Young was the worst rated player on defense. We know that. Worst rated guard. We know that he wasn't a good defender, but Luka Doncic wasn't good at defense either. Luka Doncic last year was 18th in the league in defensive rating at shooting guard. He was the 18th best shooting guard on defense. And he was the worst among winning teams. So you could say, cool, they're winning a lot of games. Luka's so much better, but his defense isn't good either. If he's the worst defender, shooting guard, out of teams like the Magic, Brooklyn, his defense wasn't great by any means. And, well, you could say it wasn't Trae Young bad, but we're the Hawks. The Hawks weren't a playoff team. The Hawks weren't trying to win. It's okay. And I think his defense will come. Like people say, Luka Doncic is so much better. Luka Doncic has been playing against grown men since he was 16. He played the Thunder with Westbrook and KD and Harden when he was 16. People need to stop giving Trae so much crap for high school and college basketball. People want him to go to the G League for a season. And look at him now. He's a great player, all-star, one of the top 5 point guards in the league. And people hate. I'm not saying Luka's bad. I think Luka and Trae are in that same range of the 10th to about the 18th, 17th or 18th best players in the league, in my eyes. But I don't think Dallas straight up won the trade. I think they worked out for each situation for what they wanted. And I think Cam Reddish will be a big factor. I think long-term, the Hawks will win. That's what I think the Hawks will win long-term. The trade, I think Trae and Luka are going to be about the same level for years to come. And I think Cam Reddish is going to be a great role player, above-average player, all-star level in a season or two. I'm not saying next year's going to be an all-star. I think Rising Star is a good goal, and I think All-Star the next year would be a great goal. But people don't need to compare these two. They play different positions, different teams. Different teams came in with a different goal. This was our last year of tanking. Next year we're going to be in the playoffs. And then what are you going to say if the Hawks go further than Dallas? This is my video. Let me know what y'all think. Till next time, peace.